Stay tuned as we put together this armoured Thanos from the Marvel Legends Avengers Endgame wave. Pow, and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews. As always, my name is Dan W. Make sure you are following me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. Today, our Marvel Legends reviews come to an end yet again as we have reached the Build-A-Figure of another wave, and this time it is the Avengers Endgame Wave 1, which is of course the armoured Thanos Build-A-Figure. And you need to buy 6 figures in this wave to get all of the pieces that you see on my table, and we're going to build him, and I cannot wait. We do know Hasbro are giving us another Avengers Endgame wave, but we yet to know what the Build-A-Figure is. We know what the comic book figures are, we know we're getting Shuri, but we don't know what Endgame figures are still to come. But for now, let's build Thanos. And to do that, you will need to buy. You don't need Captain America, as he has no Build-A-Figure piece, but you do need Ronan, Ebony Maw, Living Laser, Nighthawk, Citizen V, and Hercules. You buy all 6 of those figures, you will see all the pieces you see on my table. And as always, we're going to attempt to build this on camera and then pause it because I've probably done it wrong. But it's hard to get wrong. It's just sometimes the pieces are a bit stiff and I don't want to break them. But there you go. Thanos in Thanos's body. Arms. Easy. Plug in. Plug in. So now we've got Thanos with no legs. But it's working. It's all right. Let's put his legs on. 1, 2. This could be it, people. Pow! So here we have him, armoured Thanos in all of his glory from Avengers Endgame, with this propeller weapon and also the Infinity Gauntlet, still with all 6 stones. Now, we don't really know what's going on in Endgame, but this is the Thanos I wanted the first time round. In the first Avengers film, we got Thanos dressed like this at the very start, but then he took off his armour as he didn't need it. He had the gauntlet, he didn't even need it. But this is how I picture Thanos, and I think it's a great look for him in the MCU. So very excited to see how he battles the Avengers like this in the new film. Now, this propeller blade's new, and it's massive. It's definitely the same size as like your average Legend, and the gauntlet seems to be the same gauntlet that was on the previous figure, so there'll be opportunities for switching out the arm poses. And also we'll see what the head swaps are like, but I do like this armour. Could it have been a bit more metallic-y gold? Yes, but I'm not hating on this. SH Figure Arts will do a version, as they usually do, which will be a lot more expensive, but usually hold up in regards to quality. But I'll probably stick with the Marvel Legends in my opinion. I just prefer the bulkiness of it. But this guy looks really good. Articulation isn't too bad as well. There's your double jointed legs. You can get him in some high kick poses if you wanted to. You know, it's decent. There's a decent ab crunch there as well. You can get the head looking up, looking down, maybe a little bit with help of the ab crunch. There's only single jointed elbows, but they are decent. Like, there is a decent amount. It's even double jointed look. So yeah, I don't know why you'd have any complaints in regard to the articulation. For your Marvel Legends display, it's definitely better than most, or just as good as most. And yeah, he looks menacing, doesn't he? So let me zoom in and let's take a closer look at some of these details. So here's a closer look at armoured Thanos, and I do think it looks really nice. I love that facial expression. Really like his helmet as well. It would have been good to get maybe a helmet as a separate piece so you could have him holding his helmet or putting it on. But I'll talk about that in a minute. Looking at the rest of the figure, it's sort of gold, really good sculpted detail of like a dulled down metallic down to his like armoured skirt piece that's got sort of like a spattering of gold over it, like a spray paint of gold. And the skirt piece goes all the way around. And again, the sculpted details on the back as well, but the paintwork is just simple. Again, double jointed knees, but I think people are complaining as there's not really an ankle pivot. The ankles go back and forth, but there's not really an ankle pivot. So you're gonna have to do some funky posing. Armour at the top of his arms, but again, the shoulders do articulate all the way up as this piece is soft enough to push up. He's got like some sort of wrist armour on, and that seems to be a separate piece stuck on the figure, so it doesn't affect the articulation at the elbow. And then again on this side, he's got the gauntlet, and again, I think it's the same gauntlet as the previous version, and we'll swap out some pieces and have a look. So again, I'm not complaining. Yes, the no ankle pivot's a bit of a pain, but it's such a big sturdy figure, you're not going to have trouble getting him to stand up really, I don't think. So let's do some head swaps. So here's the first head swap. Again, both of these are from the free pack with Doctor Strange and Iron Man from the 10th anniversary line. And this is why I said it would have been good to get Thanos with like a helmet with just a separate piece. So you could get him holding his helmet under his arm or something. Again, here's the separate. So like, again, you could probably pose it like that. So it looks like he's holding his helmet, just hide the face. And I know some people online have actually heated this up and took the head out, which you can actually do to have a separate helmet piece, but it has been shaved down a bit. So if you put that helmet on top of here, it would stick up. It just wouldn't work. But again, you can sort of pose him in a way where you can't see the head and he's holding his helmet, which I quite like. So that's just one of the faces. This is the sort of stern, angry, not angry, but the sort of stern, serious face. And then the second angry face without the helmet. There you go. Angry Thanos, and it's the same expression just without the helmet, of course. So yeah, looks good, looks good. So while we're zoomed in, let's have a quick look at his weapon. And as I said, this weapon is massive. It is literally like a helicopter propeller, and in the comics Thanos did have a helicopter, so maybe we'll see his famous helicopter in in Endgame. But you can see it's got some sort of sculpted detail, but no paintwork. It's just like a sort of dull sort of metallic. Obviously, it's a blade, isn't it? So it's just a weapon, and it's fine by me. And he holds it with his non-gauntleted hand, of course. Not a problem. And you can get imposed. I say not a problem, and then I can't get it in there. Just got to move his thumb out the way. There you go. It's not a problem. I just made that harder than it should have been. But yeah, you can definitely get some fun poses with his weapon. This is good. So I just wanted to try this open palmed gauntlet as well on this armoured Thanos. And the shade of sort of bronze does seem to be a tiny bit different. But there's no way you're going to notice that when it's posed on the shelf. Like if I just stand in there and he's holding his gauntlet up or sticking his arm out, you're not going to notice it's a different shade of bronze, I don't think. So if you do want to swap around display options for this Thanos and his gauntlet, then definitely possibility. Or if you wanted your Thanos to have two punching hands, you could definitely pop the fisted hand off this Thanos and put it on here. Obviously it had the open palm one on there so it could hold the weapon, but you can mix and match. So now your Thanos can punch the Avengers with both his hands, which is nice. So definitely possibilities for mixing and matching your pieces to make your ultimate MCU Thanos. So here is your MCU Thanos comparison. I sold my Build-A-Figure when I got this free pack version, as this was the superior figure with a better paint job. But yeah, having both of these makes me really excited for Endgame. Infinity War, Endgame. And I love the opportunities for mixing and matching the fists and the heads and whatnot, so you can create your own ultimate MCU Thanos. And I love the height difference as well. This guy is smidgens taller, but that's because he's wearing a helmet. So I think they scale perfect. Now, how about this for a setup? This is what I wanted on my shelf since seeing the first 5 minutes of Infinity War over a year ago. Black Order and Armoured Thanos. Proxima Midnight, Corvus Glaive, Cull Obsidian, Ebony Maw, and Thanos looking evil and mighty as they should. Really, really like this setup. Again, it makes me want to build some sort of diorama now of that Asgardian ship when it's all destroyed with these guys on it. So good. Here we have Thanos compared to the SH Figure Arts Hulk, which is probably the best Hulk action figure that I have, and the scale is nearly perfect. I just think that Thanos should be a tiny bit taller and maybe a bit bulkier, and it would scale perfectly with this Hulk. I do think you can finesse it in shots and in your displays. I don't think it's too bad at all, but I just wanted to see how these two sort of weighed up together. And they're about the same size, to be fair, in regards to height. It's just that Thanos should be that tiny bit taller, and he should be just as bulky as Hulk. But still, you can get it to work, and I still think these look good together. Here we have the daughters of Thanos with Gamora and Nebula, and I do think these scale really well. And just for a random comparison, I have this Chitauri soldier, as Thanos does command these throughout the films. Maybe if you had a few of these standing behind him, it would work, but I think these are a little bit too big. They shouldn't be as big as Thanos, but I just thought it would be fun to see how they scale. But as you can see, they're shorter, but just a little bit too big. And here we have Thanos compared to two other Build-A-Figures that have come out in 2019. We have the Kree Sentry from the Captain Marvel wave, and we have Kingpin, of course, from the Spider-Man wave. So you let me know what your favourite Build-A-Figure has been from 2018 so far. So there we have our Armoured Thanos Build-A-Figure from Avengers Endgame. Exciting time as the film is only around the corner and we know we're getting another wave of Avengers figures from Hasbro. That is confirmed. We know we're getting Shuri, we know we're getting other comic book figures, but we don't know what the Build-A-Figure is yet, and there's still MCU figures to be revealed. So please let me know your guesses in the comments below. I'm hoping for a sort of updated Hulk from his look in Endgame, maybe a Thor. We could get another Rocket, maybe, I don't know. You let me know what you'd like to see, but there's going to be so many surprises at Endgame, it could be anything. But still, exciting times. Have you got your tickets? It's only a couple of weeks away now, people. Solid wave, really do think it's a good wave. Really happy to add these MCU characters to the shelf and really like this Armoured Thanos look. Definitely the look I wanted the first time around, but now I have both, so I'm not complaining at all. You let me know in the comments below what you think of this wave, and are you getting this Build-A-Figure? And you know what to do. Check out the playlist, check out the videos tab, check out the little eyes in the corner. Plenty more videos on the channel for you to go and check out. Much appreciated as always, but most importantly, hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much. My name is Dan W, and of course, I shall see you on the next one.